Welcome back to another Reptile Jones reptile room vlog video. Got lots to cover today. I got a couple unboxing. As you've seen in previous videos, there's been a couple new additions, and with some additions I had to do some subtractions, and we'll get to that in the video. Okay, so the first unboxing is going to be what's in here. And now I originally found this product and when I went to Tinley Park, and I purchased one, and I've been using it and I really like the way it's been working out. So I went online to find them to order more, and so that is what we have here, and that is going to be this little guy right here, although I really thought this was going to have a probe. Alright, let me grab the other one. Alright, so what I originally purchased from Tinley was this little unit here, and it has the probe, so that way you can, it doesn't have to be inside the cage. Well, I thought that's what I was buying, but apparently, even just looking at this, there is no probe, but there is a spot where the probe, come on, focus. There is a spot where the probe would go in, so this seems to be working. Put the battery in. I guess these will just have to sit inside the cage. I really like the idea of just hitting the hot spot for the temperature. And what this is, it records both temperature and humidity off of one probe, so you don't have to run multiple probes. So I guess I'm gonna have to go back. I ordered 3 of them, so I guess I'm just gonna have to go back and take a look. I mean, I can still use them. It'd just kind of be in the cage, I guess. I don't know. Still gonna use them. I didn't pay very much for them. I think it was like $8, which isn't too bad. ZooMed has those littler ones, like what's inside the cage there, that white cord. They're little and yellow and not really reliable, and those are like $6. So this is, this is still pretty good. Still pretty good price. I'm just disappointed that it didn't have the probe. But like I said, I'll look into that, and maybe what I'll do is, put this on one side and then find more with the probe and put that exactly right there within the hot spot. And then this could give me like the ambient of the cage, and then this could give me the warm spot. So not all is lost. It just isn't exactly what I paid for, or what I thought I was paying for. The other thing I picked up was this big guy here. Picked up another one. If you've seen let's get this up here. If you've seen the build video for the blue tongue skink, which apparently a lot of people have, because I think that's almost like 2,000 views, which we're going to get to that in a minute. This is the same thing. This is going to go up top on the very top cage. I want it for the light. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I'm doing up there, and then maybe this will make sense. Alright, so the cage up here is what I'm working on next. And I want to get the inhabitants and those cages. There's 2 of them there. I know it's kind of hard to see, and that's why I'm getting that light to place on top. The way we can see inside. What I've got to do yet is I've got 3 of these braces. I want to brace the middle and the sides, because this is just glued on. But I'm afraid that once I put the reptiles in there, that they might be able to push on that plexiglass and pop that off. So I'm just simply going to create a brace that will help stabilize that, so that way they can't get out. And so you're probably asking, what's going to go up there? Well, for one, this beautiful little corn snake right here, she's gonna go up there. And then, so this is my hypo lavender stripe that I have. And then this is a female, and then I've got a male who is just a hypo striped. He's gonna go on one, she's gonna go on the other side. So that brings us to what I got rid of, or what I found new homes for, and that is I got rid of the 3 other corn snakes, which was another male hypo striped. Then there was the 2 high red males that I have. I found those guys new homes. And then sadly, some of you are going to be very disappointed, but the other animals that I found new homes for was the crested geckos. So I no longer have any crested geckos. They are gone, and that Harlemaru gecko is also gone. I just felt like they could be placed in a better home where somebody would appreciate them more and give them more attention than what I was. So that's what I did. You know, their cages now, I have the Texas rat is in the middle one, which if we can get this turned down. Alright, so the Texas rat's in here. Of course, we've seen the carpet python being placed in this one in a previous video. And then once the the Nelson's milk snake comes out of quarantine, he will occupy the 3rd bay. Now, I know somebody's going to complain, because everybody always complains. These are not temporary enclosures. They are not temporary. They are temporary. They are not permanent enclosures for these guys. I have much bigger plans that I'm going to, that I'm working on. Weather is finally starting to work into my benefit, as far as I can actually start doing stuff outside and get some stuff done. So so that's the plan for today. I'll update you on a future video, because what I gotta do here is simply glue those slats into place, and maybe take the nail gun and put a couple little thin nails into it. Not worthy of showing you guys. We'll do an update on that cage once I set it up and get it really prepared to place the 2 animals inside of their own compartment. So, and again, those cages are also going to be temporary homes for these for the 2 corn snakes. Again, more stuff is coming. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to talk about that's been coming up in the comments is Maximus here, the little Savannah Monitor that I picked up. I appreciate the constructive feedback from you guys about this little fella here. I am fully aware that this guy is going to grow very fast, which he seems to be. Let's see if we can't. He landed on my lap. Come on. Alright, calm down. Which, I mean, he's already grown probably about twice as big as since I've purchased him, and now he is going to the bathroom on me. Lovely little attitude. Of course, now he wants to try to bite me. But anyways, what I'm getting at is I'm fully aware of the responsibility this guy is going to be once he's an adult. I am fully aware that his cage is going to be quite large. The 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot minimal. I'm fully aware of that, and when he gets to the size he needs that, I am definitely going to provide that for him. I'm already working on the upgrade for him, because this 10-gallon is extremely temporary. But he's got his little mouth open. But I'm fully ready for you know, everything that this guy is going to need to thrive. Keeps jumping down to my lap. Is this okay? So, you know, the goal is to, you know, to work with this guy, get him socialized so that way he can eventually be in the Reptile Jones educational program that I do. You know, and, you know, like I've said in the past, I'm fully aware of the needs that this little guy is going to require. I first really started liking Savannahs probably maybe about 10 years ago. I was down at the Columbus Zoo, and you know, they had one of their zookeepers out, and was a young lady, and you know, she had an adult Savannah Monitor, which was very tame. So that way the public could get you know, a closer look at the reptile. You know, it wasn't, you know, so that was my first encounter with an adult Savannah Monitor, and I've really wanted one since that day. But I came home, did the research, and at the time I wasn't dedicated to providing such a large enclosure for an animal. That was back in the day when I was more focused on breeding, and you know, I could keep, you know, 30 corn snakes in the same footprint that this animal is going to take once it's full grown. And if you're going to try to breed for money, what do? You keep, you know, 30 colubrids and not one of these, because it's the space I had. And of course, I've said it over and over, I'm kind of moving away from being the breeder, you know, just a hobby breeder every now and again, but I'm willing to now give the space for an animal like this. Let's see if we can get it to focus on him. Come on, focus. Yeah, it's having trouble focusing. But anyway, so I'm fully dedicated. I'm already got the plans in works for a much larger cage. That was part of the reason for getting rid of a handful of smaller animals that I had, to make way for an eventual larger cage for this fella here, and to get the snakes out of these tubs that are in them into a display-like setup like you've been seeing me do. So I thank you. I thank those of you who, you know, who left the positive you know, information on these little guys, and you know, thanks for looking out for him and making sure that I'm you know, got things in line to make sure that I take care of this guy, you know, to the way he needs to be. So that's the main reason why, you know, I got rid of some of the corn snakes and the crested geckos, because I just felt like this guy's going to take some time, and you know, I felt like those other animals were going to be shortchanged on my attention. So I felt like it was time to, you know, find some other people who would love them and want them, and you know, have them as pets. So that's what I did. They've been moved on. Yeah, so stay tuned, because you know, I am going to be building this guy's cage. I have some pretty cool ideas. At least I think they're pretty cool, and it's all based on my interpretation of the literature I've read that is stating on how to care for a Savannah Monitor properly. So let's what else we need to talk about? Alright, so another topic that's come up a lot in the comments is Blu-ray, the blue tongue skink. A lot of you are curious to know more about this setup, so you know, I'm going to run down it again, and hopefully those of you who may still have questions but haven't asked yet, maybe I can answer those now. So first of all, everybody wants to know about the equipment. This is a 40-gallon breeder aquarium. How much I pay for it? Well, I got it on sale at Pet Supplies Plus, and the other two big names, Petco and PetSmart, do the same thing. but I picked this up at their $1 per gallon sale, so I paid $40 for this on sale. This is the bare minimum size I would recommend for a adult blue tongue skink. Mine is not quite, Blu-ray is not quite full grown. In fact, let's yeah, he's way back there in the corner. Maybe we'll catch him when he comes back around. Of course, full spectrum lighting, that's debatable depending on who you talk to. In this case, I figured, is it hurting anything if I have it on? No, and he doesn't need it. But what if I don't have it and he actually does need it? So to place, better safe than sorry, I went ahead and put full spectrum lighting on top of his cage. Oh, there he is. Now somebody asked me about keeping his cage warm. There is an under tank heater under that side of the tank. February kind of fooled us here a little bit in Ohio, and initially the heating pad was enough to keep this guy's cage fairly warm. Now mind you, I have a reptile room, and it's the ambient air temperature in here is 77. So if you go by the heat pad thing, I should be upper 80s, maybe get to low 90s, but not likely. However, early March got cold. We started getting snow again, blah blah blah. So I went ahead and purchased that dome, and it has a 100-watt basking bulb in there to really get this spot nice and toasty for him. So that is a modification I did do to his tank that you did not see in the previous video. So he does have a heat lamp now to help create more heat under that spot. And of course, you guys seen him, he was at the back, so he is definitely getting more than enough heat that he's actually not basking under that 24/7, so to speak. He does return to it shortly after he eats, and then once he's get all warmed back up, he goes off to his cool sides. Now he is in his hide tube, otherwise I'd get him out for you. Let's see, what other questions? Oh, how much did I pay for my blue tongue skink? Well, here's what I did. Now, if you go to the reptile shows, you'll see them for $200, $300, $400 a piece from the breeders. And I'm not necessarily saying they ain't worth that money, but what I'm saying is I wasn't comfortable paying that for one. Again, I'm not really interested in breeding. If my mindset was I want to purchase that and we're going to make babies and sell babies, then I would have ponied up the dough. But I was looking for a pet, so I needed to go a little bit cheaper. And here's what I did, and here's what I'm going to persuade you guys to do if you're looking for a reasonable price. Blu-ray was an unwanted pet. Somebody purchased him as a baby, probably paid a couple $100 for him or her, I don't know the sex. They had him for a year, and then they decided that this was not the pet of their choice. So when somebody gets in that kind of situation, a lot of times they'll sell them for cheaper. So I am on a few Facebook reptile pages, and that's what I did. I simply waited and watched, and it took a little bit. There was people on those Facebook pages still selling them for a couple $100 a piece, and but I knew if I waited out long enough that sooner or later that one would come, and surely enough, one did. So I ended up paying $125 for this fella here. Again, he was an unwanted pet. So if you're in no rush, and which you really shouldn't be, but do the research, do all that while you're waiting, and just simply be patient, and sooner or later a deal will come along. So he's out of his tube. Let's see if I can't get him so you guys can see him. No, come on there, Your fans, your adoring fans will want to see you. There he is. He just walked through his water dish to get away from me. So there he is. That's relax, relax. Alright, so I don't remember exactly where I left off at. Battery died. And as you can see, this guy's getting quite squirrely. And he pooped on me. So we're not going to keep him out much longer. I don't want to stress him out. Yeah, see? Ew. Ew. Okay, so we're gonna end this video here. I'm gonna set this guy up, take a few photos to make the thumbnail, and so I guess that's just going to end it there. We ended on a poopy note. There you go. Did you get that tongue flick? All right, that's it. Till next time, later. All right, so up here is the cage that I'm working on. Oops. Good.
Shut up and sit down.